I hope everybody is having a good week. It has been a weird week here, but it's all good. I hope everybody is going to enjoy some stitching or is enjoying some stitching for the evening. Oh, hello, Donna. Hi, Shirley. Oh, there's so many of you here. I'm so glad. I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've done this, right? We haven't done this in forever. Hi, Tara. Oh, my goodness. Hello, hello. Susie says hello to Odin and Frank. Woof, woof. Yes, the boys are somewhere. Odin hasn't actually felt, or no, Frank hasn't felt very good today. I think he just has an upset tummy, but he's feeling better this evening. Hi, Lori. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see how the poll's doing. I did put a poll up in the chat just for fun. I wanted to know what Santa everybody is stitching. It looks like the majority of you, well, I say something else is winning. Blue coat Santa, though, is definitely in the lead. Pink coat Santa and green coat Santa were a couple of additional options I gave you guys. This is for my birthday, Sal, which technically started Saturday, and I had company, so I didn't start stitching or anything like that. Well, I didn't do the live. I started stitching, but I didn't do my live like I normally do. So from now on Fridays, yes, that's when I scheduled them. There will be Friday evening for the next 3 weeks. We'll have some stitching and just hang out, encourage one another to get our Santas stitched and have fun. Yeah, I literally can't remember. I can't remember the last time I did one of these, so kind of funny. Hi, Karen. Thanks, Susie, for reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. Let's see. Waiting on your order with Blue Coat Santa. They should be coming any time now. And I posted a progress picture, I want to say, was that Monday? I haven't even touched mine since then. So, it's actually stitching really, really fast. I think you guys will be great. So in the chat, let me know like what fabric count you guys are choosing to stitch on. I would love to hear from you. I chose to stitch on 36. The model is stitched on 40. I decided 36 because it'll be a little bit bigger, but I like 36 or 40 count fabric for the most part. But tell me if you're stitching on linen, on Aida, what count you're stitching, because the finishing is going to be the same no matter which count or what fabric you're stitching on. So that's super exciting. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Missed several videos, so not sure where to get the charts. I did link it down below in the description below the video here on YouTube, Betty. So if you need to, you can click. I gave several options for the chart, and it is in stock, or was. I have not checked in 2 days. It was in stock at Fat Quarter Shop, which means that's shipping right now. A lot of places have it for pre-order, or it's arrived at some places. I don't know. I don't know the status at all the shops, which means if it's a pre-order, they're waiting for their order before they ship those out. But Fat Quarter Shop only puts it up if it's actually in stock. Let's see. Bought the Blue Coat Santa during the Jingle Ball last year. Yes, me too, Beatrice. That's why I thought this was the perfect thing to start. Teresa's stitching on 36 count Winter Brew. Oh, my little alarm. That was my backup alarm so I wouldn't forget to come on here tonight. It stitches much faster than you thought. Lori, I thought the same thing. Lucille got hers the other day. Donna's stitching on 32 count Saltbush. Yeah, oh, first time on 32. That's exciting. I think it'll be a really nice size on 32, Donna. Julia says 32 as well. Oh, I love that. Teresa 36. Nice. Oh, I think I already said that. Stitching on 36. Sue says when she gets it. Anne-Me says, I'll be stitching on 40 count for the first time. Wish her luck. You've got this. You can do it. I'm having a hard time finding DMC 3782. Does anyone have any recommendations what other color could use? Oh my gosh, is 3782 out of stock? Well, let me see which one 3782 it even is. What color is that? Why am I not finding it on here? Did I? Oh, it's that really, really light. It's on here. A very, very light brown. Let me see where that's used in the chart. Thanks, Tracy. Everybody's shouting, I'm sure, at the screen, going, Nicole, don't be special. Let's see. 3782 is that little thing there. I don't even think I've... Oh, yeah, the brim of the hat and stuff. Okay, yes, the shading. I would say I would have to look at some overdyes. I would look at a floss conversion chart. Try at 1, 2, 3 Stitch or somewhere else, and see if there's a Classic Colorworks or a Weeks Dye Works or Gentle Arts that is close to that. Or order it and just kind of skip that section until you get it. Let's see. I am sewing mine on 10 count to make a stand-up, Krista said. Oh, that is going to be so cool. I cannot wait to see that. Sandy says, good evening. Hello. Let's see. Oh, Susie, thanks. That's so nice of you. All right. So, for anyone who doesn't know, we are, well, I say we. I am stitching Blue Coat Santa by Teresa Kogut, which is this chart right here. I left fill-in for me to do tonight, so I don't have to look at my chart. And I am going to do a finishing tutorial at the end. If you have ever felt intimidated by finishing a design into a shape like this, like an animal cracker or whatever, hopefully it will help, or, you know, I'll be your cheerleader and guide you along. Sue says, for the fancy floss, do you think one skein of each is enough on 36? Yes, I do. I do, because it's not solid blue. I'm using a lot less than what I thought I would, so I think you should be fine. All right, I am going to do my picture-in-picture. Oh, I have to turn off my overhead light. I generally don't have my overhead light on when I'm filming because it just makes horrible glare. So here is my piece. I'm stitching on the called for Saltbush. 1 strand over 2 is what I'm doing, and I'm going to work on fill-in for the beard. Let me put up a graphic real quick. So here was my plan for the weekly assignments, if you will. Over here on the side of the screen, I've shown week 1, which kind of, I wanted to do a center start just so that I leave myself enough room. And obviously I did a center start and worked my way up. And I ended up doing the whole face. For me, when I am doing anything like a Santa or something with a face, if I get the face in, it does really encourage me. So I kind of worked into week 2 a little bit. But saying that, when I show you my stitching again, I was shocked at how much and how fast this Santa went, because I think in my mind, I had told myself this was going to take forever, and it's not. So you guys might be done with this way before week 4 even comes in there. Lucille said, saw a picture and they look like, of my kids, and they look like me. Yeah, a lot anyway. The one I think that wasn't in the photo, he looks, I think he looks a little bit more like his dad in some ways. Let's see. All right, so week 1 is going to be like the stick horse, which I stitched up pretty quick, and then I went into week 2 a little bit. So I'm just going to work on filling in his beard. Couple of notes about that. I did decide to use Grits from Weeks Dye Works for the beard instead of the called for DMC. And then just because I had Weeks Dye Works mascara already out, I am using that for any of the black instead of the 310 DMC. So just a couple of little small things. The white especially, that's just a personal preference. You absolutely don't have to do that. But those are the only two changes I've made. Otherwise, I'm using completely called for. So those are just kind of our little quote unquote assignments. It doesn't have to be super strict. So when I started, which I started about right here, I started stitching the house at least enough to get the outline so that I wouldn't have a counting issue. That's always my fear. And then I ended up stitching up here. I outlined his beard. I stitched his face. And then I stitched the stick horse. And I came down and outlined his coat. So that I would mostly just, I have like the light blue color to fill in here. I have a little bit of the roof. And then, of course, I can start working on week 2. Stitching with you from Africa, Fatima. Oh my goodness. I thought the first page was the top left quarter, so she's basically, Lori's basically stitching 2 weeks at once. I love that. Do you think 1 skein of grits is enough? Sue says, yes, I do. Yeah, I think it'll be enough. But it just depends. If you have to rip out a bunch of stuff, sometimes it's not. Or if you're stitching on 32 or 28, it might not be. If you're using 2 strands. I only use 1 strand. So I am going to stitch. Let's hope that I have improved my on-camera stitching since the last time. I did not get my magnifier light out today. It's a pain. So I opted not to do it. Okay, so my next question for everybody, I'll check on the poll here in a minute too. Have you ever stitched a Teresa Kogut Santa before? Maybe I should start a poll for that. I think it would be fun to know. All right. Let me run over here and check my poll area. Let's see where our poll is at for Santa. Looks like about 43% is stitching Blue Coat Santa. The other Santas are getting a little bit of love, and something else is getting quite a bit of love as well. Okay, so I'm going to end that one, and I'm going to start another one because why not? We haven't had a thing in a while. I want to do... There we go. All right. Lucille, are you still doing Vlogmas? I am. I actually filmed some stuff for Vlogmas today. So, yes, I'm very excited. So last year completely winged it, which is fine. There's still going to be a definite amount of winging it this year, but I also wanted to pre-plan a few things, and I'm really excited about it. So I have a whole schedule, kind of a tentative schedule. I may have to move some things around, but I just wanted to hit some basic things that I've been wanting to share. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I filmed a couple little things. Does the cross stitch have the Santa already printed on the fabric? No, Donna, it does not. Danielle says, I love the fabric you're stitching on. This is the called for. It's Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. Sandy must add something, and let me see. what she asked, although I see people are answering it. Looking for guidance on, nope, that's not it. Well, what did I miss, Sandy? I must have missed it. Oh, Donna, yay! She says, Donna Marie says, made your Christmas card today. Am I getting a special one? Not one that you made everybody else? Do you mass produce? Oh, Lucille, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. I've been working on decorating my house. It's bringing me a lot of joy, but I am in a really, really weird mood this year. Tell me if you're like this as well. Maybe not this year, but at times. So every box I open of decorations, I've been putting out what I want, and I have another box of all the stuff that's just leaving my house. I'm like, dump it off at Goodwill or wherever, donating it. But I am in a weird mood. I'm like, okay, well, if I didn't put this out last year, or if I'm like, ugh, why do I even have this? I'm just straight getting rid of things. And I cleaned out like the buffet table, and I cleaned out, so I reorganized that yesterday. I also totally cleaned up like my basement. I have some other stuff down there, which I didn't even realize what was in like the bar area and the cabinets downstairs. I found a whole bunch of stuff I needed to get rid of. Crazy, just crazy things. Oh, Donna Marie says it's special. It has lots of love. Donna, you always give lots of love. I cannot wait. Stitching our favorite elf, the Teresa Kogut freebie from the Jingle Ball last year. I love that one. Oh, that's going to be so fun, Lynn. You asked where she found, oh, I'm sorry, her 18 count. Oh, good. Okay. Carolyn, I haven't cross-stitched in years, and you make me want to start a project. I have never stitched on this type of cloth, but it looks amazing. It is very fun. The patterns, when I came back to cross-stitch a few years ago, I could not believe the charts and all of the wonderful things. Karen says she did that last year and got rid of lots of stuff. Okay, that makes me feel better. I am just in this let's get rid of stuff mood. I still want to decorate. I just want to get rid of stuff. I haven't stitched in over 25 years. Peggy says, inspired me so much that you started back. I love, love, love that. Oh, Peggy, that makes me so happy. Stitching is totally my stress reliever. It makes me so happy. I look forward to it every single evening. We can all ask Lori here in the chat, my friend Lori Craig, how grumpy I get when I've had some big things going on and I've just like big work projects and I've been too tired to stitch. And if that goes on for too many days, I get super grumpy. She does too, I think. Right, Lori? Just finished Santa's wreath after seeing yours and loved every minute. Isn't it a gorgeous stitch, Sandy? I'm actually going to finish those as part of Vlogmas. One of the early days of Vlogmas so that I can put them on my tree. Peggy said decided to do that this year. She brought every Christmas tote box in to go through and declutter. The other thing I'm doing this year that I feel like is so much smarter for me, because here's my daughter offered to bring up all of my totes or get all of them out. And I said no, because I know me. I am not going to be able to get it all done in one go as much as I'd like to. And it overwhelms me. So I am only getting out, like I'm only doing one thing at a time. And that has been, I need to zoom in. That has been really, really helpful because I'm not making a giant mess. You have to sit Nicole in her chair and hand her a needle. It's true, you do. Otherwise, I get so grumpy. Let's see. Oh, and Sandy's welcoming Peggy back to stitching. Yes. Waiting for the order of the Santa wreath, Mary said. You will have it stitched in no time. I don't know why I had myself psyched out that it was going to take so long to stitch. It did not at all. And I did. I loved every single bit of that one. So worth it. I cannot wait to see what is in the ornament book for the Jingle Ball this year. Okay, let's see. I'm going to check my poll over here. There's a lot of no's. I asked, have you stitched a Teresa Kogut Santa before? 12% yes, 12% says yes, give me all the Santas. 54% no. That makes me excited. Hopefully that kind of introduces you to somebody new. And 34% says not yet. That is super fun. So I was telling another friend, I feel like maybe last week or so, I said, I don't know what happened. I always have loved Teresa's designs. She's an incredible artist. But maybe I was intimidated to stitch them or something. But I have gotten the Teresa Kogut bug, and oh my gosh, I just want to stitch all of the things. Peggy says her husband had surgery today and she stitched for hours in the waiting room. Well, Peggy, first of all, wishing your husband a very speedy recovery. And I'm glad that you had something to do that kept your mind and hands busy while you were in the waiting room. Yes, Sandy, I agree. She said she thinks that the Santa wreath took a little bit of time to get into the rhythm. I too found that, and I think even in my floss tube I talked about it, that I kind of had to... I started in the center on that one as well, and for me it's always the face. For some reason that helps me get going. Tara says me too. Tara is on a roll. Okay, you guys, if you are not following Miss Tara here, Tara Sullivan of Sully's Stitches on YouTube and Instagram and all of the things, you must. She is an incredible stitcher and has a super inspiring floss tube. And Tara has been stitching all of the Teresa, and it is incredible. Julia says Teresa's charts are amazing. Yes. Oh, and how can we just get a hallelujah for the color charts and their huge color? I love it. This blind girl loves it. Lori says, I thought her full coverage would be really time consuming, but it's not been her experience thus far. I did too, Lori. I think we psyched ourselves out, girl. I think we told ourselves it was going to be just miserable or something. I don't know. I wanted to start this last year and I was like, oh, but look at all of that full coverage stitching. No, not even close. It's been a delight. Janie says, I wish I could stitch in hand. My stitches don't look very good when I try. It is just a lot of practice. I used to stitch in a hoop a long time ago, but I actually, not a lot though. I really have stitched in hand pretty much always, even way back when I used to stitch. This will be my first Teresa Santa. I'm stitching Blue Coat Santa on 46 count treasure map by Color and Cotton. Okay, first of all, awesome, you're stitching it on 46. I just finished my gingerbread man for the Stacy Nash Jingle Ball class on 46. Well, the front of it. I haven't stitched the back yet. So that's going to be cute and tiny. And Treasure Map by Color and Cotton is one of my favorite colors. That's going to be gorgeous. Oh, that's so, so fun. Is it Mina? Joined Teresa's Patreon this year and planning to upgrade the membership. Love her. Yes. It is so good. So good. I actually have a few, I feel like they're from 1 or 2 years ago that I really want to stitch. One is a snowman that I just love. Lori says, I love treasure map. Yes. If there was one color, I think that I wish Color and Cotton would have available all the time, it's treasure map. Maybe they do and I just don't know either. I don't know. Carol says Teresa does a great job with her Patreon. So many great patterns and behind the scenes. Yes. Oh, and she just makes me laugh too. She's so funny. Let's see. Can you tell me about the method you are using to do your stitching? Angela says. Yes, I do the sewing method. So you'll notice that I'm not going back and forth. I like to do the sewing method. It did take, that was something I taught myself to do when I came back to stitching a few years ago. And I love it because I always used to do, I know some people don't like when I call it this, but the poke and stab, you know, this kind. I just really like the sewing method. I feel like I'm quick at it, and, you know, it took a little practice. My stitches didn't look great. And sometimes still, if I'm in a bad mood or something, sometimes they still don't look great. But what you do is you're doing everything on top of the fabric. So it's called the sewing method. There are some video tutorials, I think, online. But I love it. Karen always has a Teresa project in her rotation. Oh, I love that. And Peggy loves stitching in hand. Let's see. Teresa says, keep practicing stitching in hand. It took her over a year and it was worth it. Teresa, I can't agree more. Okay, who else always has a Teresa project going? I think I'm going to be one of them. I love that. You guys, I don't know if she's shared, but there's going to be a real fun project from Teresa coming pretty soon. I think you're going to like it. And it's not Christmas. How about that? She might have shared. I'm a little bit behind in watching things. And I can't tell you more than that. I know that. I don't want to get unfriended by one of the people that is in the collaboration. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about? Tell me all the things. Feel like I've been out of the loop for a few days. I had company. It was not planned. It threw me for a loop. It was great. Don't get me wrong, but let's see. Lucille says, I've tried a little bit. It does take practice. Kimberly says, I was sitting here stitching on my felt snowman star and this popped up. Oh, yay. Teresa Kogut is a fantastic designer. Oh, Kimberly, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. Julia has 4 Teresa projects going on right now. And Sandy says, my birthday start is always Teresa, so always have one going. Oh, I love that, Sandy. That's fun. Jingle Ball classes. What is everyone taking? Kim wants to know. I am taking, I'll start while people are typing. I'm taking the Pears by Annie Bees, and I've already stitched them. I'm taking Stand Up for Santa by Hands On Design, and I've stitched that one. And then I'm taking the Gingerbread Needle Book, but I'm not making a needle book, and the Ginger Animal Cracker from Stacy Nash. And I have half of the Gingerbread Needle Book design done. Janet says, love your projects. I have only done needlepoint, so I am a beginner. Oh, that's awesome, Janet. Welcome. Sandy says, I love your company. Surprised you. I assume it was your daughter for for my birthday. Well, okay, so I wish it was for my birthday. I mean, it ended up being okay, and I guess it did end up being for my birthday. I know I told my Patreon members, well, I might have told everybody, since I think that I put this on the free part. She actually had a car accident last week. I guess it's a week ago today. She totaled her vehicle. She's fine. But she needed to come and get a loaner from her dad. Yeah. So she had not planned on coming, but she ended up not really wanting to leave. She wanted to stay. So that was my unexpected company. It was fine, and I'm glad they were here, but, you know, it was a little bit of a disruption to what I normally thought I was going to do, but it was a welcome one. Sandy's allowing herself one, and it's Ginger the Animal Cracker. Tracy, Stand Up for Santa, and an Animal Cracker. Let's see. Betty has a lot of Teresa's Halloween projects, 2 going. Are you going under the row prior and then under and over? Well, I'm going to show, here's the back. Here's what the back looks like. So let me start and then I'll talk about it. And I'll show it a little slower and I'll hold it up closer to the camera. Danielle will be at a scrapbooking crop that weekend, so just shopping. Hey, there's nothing wrong with just shopping. Doctor told me to rest my finger, which is sore and swollen. I told him, are you out of your mind? I have a sal to do. Donna Marie, you take care of yourself. Let's see. Lori says the gingerbread and yes, Lori has hers all stitched. It looks great. Stacy Nash Animal Cracker. Fatima says the jars. Okay. Hello from Liz Matthews. Ginger, Stand Up for Santa. Jeanette Douglas Specialty Stitches. Nice. What would be a good project for a beginner? I'm building my Christmas wish list and would love to create something nice. That's so, it really just, I hate to like give one set example because everybody's tastes are so different. I would say if you're just starting stitching or just coming back, I would pick something on the smaller side. But whatever it is, make sure it's something that really just stands out to you. Like if you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to stitch that, you're going to be a lot more likely to stick with it if you love it. So definitely like don't jump on the bandwagon if it's something is not your thing, basically. I would look at projects and find something you love and then start with that. I am. Nancy, I will. I'm just stitching it like this. I don't know why. I really should be stitching one stitch at a time. I'm just not. It'll be all right. Let's see. Angela says, "Is the back of your fabric looks so tidy? Is that because of the sew method?" It's because of the sew method, and it's because I do a pin stitch start, so I don't have huge tails in the back. Kim, that is a good point. Okay, so Kim recommends Primrose. Are we talking about classes or just any kind of stitch? Because if it is for a class, that probably would be a good one. Let me think. Oh, lots of them. Where is your, okay, not that. Let's see. I'm taking the perforated poinsettia class. Yes. Oh, Peggy, thanks. I would stick with something I want to finish. Janet, that's a good recommendation. Stand Up for Santa and Winter Woods Biscornu. Oh, Anne, how fun. Yeah, that'll be so pretty. Okay, my other question, if you are taking classes, how many of you have your pre-stitching done? We're getting closer to Jingle Ball weekend. I love the idea of starting a project and see lots of things I like, but my problem is how to finish them. Frame it, I see lots of things mounted on boards, trays, etc. Carolyn, this is true. Framing is always a good option, and I will say I've gotten a lot more things framed in the last year. But when I came back to stitching, I did do a lot of hard finishing. There are several playlists on my channel. And then you can follow companies that do boards. 141 Design, Chantal of 141 Design, she does a lot of showing you how to paint or stain your boards. You can, if you're comfortable with a sewing machine, you can sew it. There are also people who do finishing for you, you can pay them to finish your projects if you want to. Donna Marie's doing Stand Up for Santa and Ginger. For class, I would take Liz Matthews or Hands On Design. They are great teachers. Lynn, they really are. I will say, I'm not taking Liz's class this year, but I have taken the two previous, I took two of her classes, so last year and the year before, and the instruction was great. I agree. And Kathy of Hands On Design is always a fabulous instructor. Always. Okay, Peg, I see when you start to stitch, your thread tail is on top. Is that it? Okay, so that's how I do my pin stitch. I know some people do it from the back. I do it from the front. It might be a do as I say and not as I do type thing. I know that other people do it on the back, but I do it from the front. So it's called a pin stitch start. And it's just so that I don't have super long tails sticking out. I have started all three, but I'm not done yet. We have Thanksgiving weekend to finish up. Julia, this is true. I had really wanted to be done by then, but I've kind of let that go, and I've decided what we're going to have done by Thanksgiving is the house decorated. And I hope that I have 3 of my 4 classes done, and then I can stitch Ginger up, hopefully, before class. I'm not really going to follow that class since I've made an animal cracker before, so I figure if I don't get it done, I can work on it that weekend during the stitching tables and things. Let's see. I've got the snow globe stitching done. Oh, I cannot wait to see everybody's finishes of that. It's so cute. And I have my Stand Up for Santa stitch, Kim says. I have 1 class done and will definitely finish the 3rd. No pre-stitching for Jeanette's class. Oh, good. You know, I was just thinking this the other day because she's teaching specialty stitches, so that'll kind of be more of a hands-on type of thing, won't it? I'm assuming. What I was thinking the other day, though, is I think other than the first year when Kathy of Hands On Design didn't require the pre-stitching, and so, in fact, didn't want us opening it until the class, I think that's the only one I've not done. I do good with the pre-stitch. For me, it's like school. Like, I don't want to let people down, so I want to do my project. I'm dorky that way. I have 1 class. Okay, no, I already read that. Me neither. Ginger is a PDF only for me. Yeah, I only did PDFs this year. And I do want to point that out. If you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, I would really like to stitch that or whatever, but I waited too long, I didn't get a kit, just know that I did not get a single kit this year. I went ahead and just kitted everything up myself from Stash. I think I only had to order a few floss colors. I pulled fabric that I had from Stash and made it work. Tara's taking Liz Matthews and has 1 piece of the 4, but they are small. They are small. Okay, so I'm tempted. We'll see, because we can buy the PDF clear up until like the last minute. Today I was looking at those. I have this idea. It wouldn't be to finish them necessarily like like she's finished them, but I do have an idea. I especially like the little cardinal one. We'll see. I'm tempted to maybe buy the PDF, buy the class, but I kind of need to make sure I finish what I did buy first. Haha. PDF only for me because I'm a nutcase and I'm taking 4. Well, Kim, you and I are nutcases together. Is the PDF pattern only, or is there some video also? Lucille, if you buy the PDF, you're in the class. So you're going to get the PDF, and then you will watch the class over the weekend, or if you can't watch it live, the replay will be available for 30 days. So basically what I'm saying is somebody talked me out of going and buying that 5th class. I really do. I'm going to make myself finish, or at least be very close to finishing ginger. Like finish the gingerbread and then finish ginger before I can seriously consider it. I'm stitching the cardinal. Oh my gosh, Tara, that's so funny. I just have this idea that I think might be cute. I can't wait to see the finishes for that one. Mina did all PDFs, just signed up for Stand Up for Santa on Friday and just kept thinking about it and seeing everyone's stitches, right? That's what happens as people start getting their homework done. It just, you get convinced that you need it too. Especially when it might not be available for, a lot of the designers will bring out their Jingle Ball projects next year. And it's not like we don't have anything to stitch, right? But, you know, FOMO is real. It happens. Julia only did PDFs this year, so tempted to buy another class. I know, Julia. The PDFs make it easy. And let's face it, I have plenty of supplies. If I didn't have the exact, I was like, this is close enough. Stitching the stand-up Santa was so fun. I now love 20 count linen. Who knew? It was weird, and I went straight from the 20 count linen to 46, and I was like, it doesn't even feel weird. I was surprised. I was like, this is going to feel so stinking tiny. And it is tiny, but I love it. And it wasn't weird at all. I like that 20 count linen. I'm super excited. I've never made a stand-up. That's part of the reason I wanted to take that class, is I really, really wanted to learn to do a stand-up. I better get that stand-up Santa then, Lucille said. You better, Lucille. You're going to love it. Stitching the stand-up Santa. Oh, no, I read that already. How's everybody's stitching coming? I should probably check in on the poll. Let's see. Oh my gosh, 9% of you said that you've stitched a Teresa Kogut Santa. 55 no. What are you waiting for, everyone? I'm just teasing. And 35% not yet. That's fun. Okay, I'm going to end that. Nancy says, I have Liz Matthews' class stitched and Ginger stitched. Can't wait for the classes. Oh, me neither. That's going to be so fun. Uh-oh. Did it not add it to the broadcast? Maybe it did. Maybe it. Oh, I bet it just doesn't add it on my streaming software. It's a me problem, not an everybody else problem. It's fine. Stitching, but I'm struggling with the pearl cotton being neat. Any tips? Okay, yes. Do you stitch in hand, and do you use the sewing method? If you do, like I do, I would suggest maybe not. I did a lot more of traditional, and again, please forgive me if you don't like this terminology, but the poke and stab method with that pearl cotton, and I found my stitches, when I did that, looked a lot neater than if I tried to do the sewing method. Danielle says, currently stitching Float Like a Butterfly by Plum Street for your daughter for Christmas. Oh, what a nice gift. So what I know I mentioned this in my floss tube because I don't think my daughter's watched it. Sometimes she does watch my videos, but I think I'm going to stitch her the pears. I think. She wants a lot of things. All of a sudden she's super interested in things I'm making. I'm like, well, you too could be a stitcher. Well, I'll keep trying. But I think I'm going to stitch her the pears, or at least one of them. Lynn doesn't stitch in hand. Okay, so my next question, Lynn, do you stitch in a hoop? You might, or you don't stitch in hand, so you do stitch in a hoop. I would just work on your tension and maybe work on trying to be like very much like straight up, pull straight down. Some of my stitches I felt like didn't look the best, I'll be honest. But once I was done, I didn't notice it as much. Maria says, never stitched but love your projects. Thank you. Enchanted with your house. You stitch with Stacy Nash's gingerbread house and can't wait to get it this year so I can make one too. Yay! You know what? That was super fun to make. I'm glad it turned out. I was a little bit nervous, but it ended up being great. Stitching Snowman Joy from Shannon Christine for a Christmas present for a friend started in January. Well, Karen, you've been doing some other things. By the way, Karen, I need to text you. I just got my mail and got it opened right before this live. Thank you for my birthday present. I love it. Thank you, thank you. I'm pretty sure I told you at some point that I wanted that, and you must have so generously gifted it to me. I love it. Thank you, friend. Yes, a hoop. Lynn, I think I would work on really just trying to kind of come straight up and straight down, and maybe cut your lengths of the pearl cotton shorter. I know that's going to require, you know, threading your needle more often, but that might help if you're, because I know I was dealing with some super long strands of that pearl cotton, and that length, just the tension, I couldn't get it quite right, so I did cut mine a little bit shorter to stitch with. Yes, Karen, I'm so sorry I left my mail down in my mailbox down at the end of the street for multiple days. Yeah, Lynn says trust the she's going to trust the process. Absolutely. Let's see. No, Lucille, she totally loves handmade things. So here's the thing. The Charm Pack tote bag, there's a boo-boo, that I made, and I have a tutorial on my channel. I made that originally for her because that was per her request, basically, is she wanted a tote bag. She has told me no less than, I don't know, 10 times how much she loves it. She's hinting that she wants another one because she uses it for everything. In Colorado, they can't have plastic bags. I'm sure other places can't either. We can in Kansas still, but so she always needs a grocery bag, like when she goes to Whole Foods and stuff, or wherever, and she uses it all the time. And she says people ask her all the time where she got it and where can they get one, and she's like, haha, my mom made it, you can't have one. That's exactly what she said to me this weekend. Bev says, I just finished Teresa Kogut's Pumpkin Pals, and they are so stinking cute. I love that one, Bev. Oh my gosh. Donna Marie, I need to use my hoop stand because of the darn finger. I thought I wanted to teach myself how to use a hoop stand, but I just revert back to this. This is comfortable for me. Oh, Karen kept hers and made me another one. Well, thanks, Karen. I love it. Oh, that's right, Lucille. I knew you said that you made some of those. She loves it. So, spoiler alert, she's getting a Christmas one. Because I think that she'll love it. And I know that that one will be a little more limited how long she'll use it. She probably won't care, though. But I thought, oh, we'll give her another one because she loves it so, so much. Actually, and I made a fabric bow today. Well, I made several of them, and I sent her a picture before I went live, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I want one." So I think she kind of likes it. Maria, question, is stitching the same as embroidery? I'm not familiar at all. No, it's not. It's not exactly the same. Cross stitch, you're making little X's. Fat Quarter Shop has a great beginner tutorial that I know a few people used. 100%. Sandy is mentioning that they have a whole beginner series, so that's a really great place to start if you are interested in starting to cross stitch. Fun fact, I've actually not done embroidery. I really want to. And I even bought some stuff. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see. I just love making little X's in fabric. This is like my super happy place, and I have a hard time switching it up. How's everybody doing? I've kind of just stitched all over the place on this beard. I don't know what's going on with me. Somebody said, Lori, was it you or was it somebody else, said that they felt like they'd been doing white fill-in for days for this beard. I could see that. I am glad that I saved some sort of fill-in for the video, though. That does help. So I'm not trying to count. You are a maker of many things, Lucille said. Yeah, I do tend to like all the crafts. Or I think I'm going to. There have been some things that are no's. I told some friends last night that I wasn't going to start knitting. They've all dove into knitting. And they were knitting. Oh, whoops. I think I just need to thread this underneath. And I said I am not going to be taking that up. I've never knit. I've never crocheted. I mean, I know I could learn if I wanted to, but I just cannot house anything else in this house. I already have too much fabric, too much cross stitch, too much card making, paper crafting. As we just mentioned, I'm in that mood where I'm getting rid of stuff. Not my crafting stuff, though. Never my crafting things. Yes, White Squirrel says Nikki Franklin has some great embroidery projects. I know. I love, love, love looking at all of those. They're so beautiful. Mina learned embroidery first. It's fun, but I love cross stitch. I don't know how you can talk and do anything. Lots of practice, Lucille. Are you doing the blue coat Santa? Karen says no. The white reminds me of the snow globe we did a couple years ago. Donna Marie says, oh, right. Yes, Snow Magical from Brenda Gervais. This is true. That was a lot of white. Right, Lori Craig? Lori was not a fan of all the white fill-in. She was a fan of the finish, but not of all of the white fill-in. Okay, you know what? I have another poll before we leave tonight. I'm going to do it real fast because I've always wonder about this. It's always fun to have little polls going, I think. Okay, you guys, I did a poll. Do you love fill-in? Let me know. I want to hear. Oh, did I not get that in there? No. Let's thread the needle here. Sandy used to crochet, didn't enjoy it, could never get knitting down. Well, Karen is amazing at it. And Karen, didn't you teach yourself? Are you going to start making sweaters? I want to know. Or clothing or anything. That's the part that I'm like, I just don't think I would be very good at it. First of all, I'd be super mad if I stitched it the wrong size or something like that. The Santa fill-in ruined me. I want to stitch berry and pine, I think, but it's so much white. Karen likes fill-in as long as it's not white. I get bored with it really quick, Lucille says. I do. Okay, I do too. It's great for if I'm busy with friends, like doing a Zoom or something, or like tonight. And sometimes what I do is I set a timer for an hour. Like I like when I have several sections. So for example, the beard, and I can set it out a timer for an hour and I get as much done as I possibly can with fill in, and then I'll work on something else. That's one of my favorite ways because eventually it gets filled in. Fill in is great for airplane stitching, Bev says. Yes, I like that. That's a great tip. Oh, Karen wants to make sweaters for Hattie, her little adorable fur baby. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Have you knit her like a little hat, Karen? I think a little hat would be adorable. Julia says, yeah, exactly. Multi-crafters all the way, aren't we? I know some aren't. Lucille says that's a good idea. That's how I keep myself from getting too bored, because I do tend to get bored with it as well. So I will set a timer, and if an hour is too long, like 30 minutes, I just try to reward myself with like, okay, well now I can move on and let's say do the other sleeve or whatever. And then I find eventually your fill-in is all done. So that's my best tip for that. I say fill in for stitch group and retreats, Karen said. Yes, perfect. I always tell myself I'm going to, but I'm horrible at it. Okay, here's my next thing. Anyone watching anything good on TV? Because I need either a book to, an audiobook to listen to, or something good to watch. I feel like I'm all out of everything. So I'm looking for recommendations, if you don't mind sharing. I would love to know. I think I've rewatched basically everything that I have ever liked. So I'm looking for something good to watch. Sometimes if you have had a busy day, nothing better than stitching. Yes, I agree, Tara. I always feel like it's my little reward. Fill in, yes. I knew what you meant, Tara. And that's true. You don't have to think. So if you've had a super crazy day at work, or you're just overwhelmed with whatever, and this time of year, a lot of us get overwhelmed. Well, I shouldn't speak for everybody. I do. Having something that you can just sit and fill in and not think about, you don't have to count. It is very lovely. I like that. My timer is usually one thread and then move to another section, Mary Ann said. Oh, I love that. Okay, who else uses a timer? I like to, sometimes I do that just to test myself to see how long I sit still, or to remind myself to get up and go get a drink of water, or, you know, something, or move around. I couldn't figure out what to watch, so I went back to Little House on the Prairie a few weeks ago. Lori Craig, you need to talk to Chantal. She's rewatched the whole thing. I love that so much. This is why we're all friends. I started watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't watched this probably since I was a child. I love that. Danielle just finished watching Poldark. Oh, I did watch that. I did not watch the last season. I lost interest part of the way through, but it was good for binge. I agree, it was good for binge watching. Julia says listening to Off the Wild Coast of Brittany by... Oh, I'm going to go look that up. Latest season of The Diplomat on Netflix is awesome. Oh, and Danielle says that her husband just started that book too. Okay. Good audiobook, The Correspondent. Oh, I'm going to have to write all this down. I got a few recommendations. The Beast in Me, Pluribus, and Down Cemetery Road. None of those I know about, Tara. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm going to have to go write all of this down. Lori's on season 3. Okay, so Lori, I'll tell you later. Well, I'll just say now since I was going to tell you later. Chantal watched all of Little House on the Prairie. And then we were laughing about some things. But then her grandkids wanted to watch it, so she started over again. And is watching Little House on the Prairie again. Oh, I love this so much. Do you have Hulu? I do not. Do I? I could, though. Courtney, okay. And hi, by the way, hi, Courtney. She's watching The Murdoch Death in the Family is what I actually have heard several people say that is really good. True crime is my thing too. But sometimes I get over, like, do you ever think to yourself, man, that's a lot of sadness and I just need something to, I need a break from it. I don't usually need a super long break, but yeah. Okay. So maybe I should do that. Yep, and Lori said she also heard The Diplomat was good, so that's a couple of votes for that. The Beast in Me, Donna Marie loved it. Okay, Tara and Donna Marie say that I need to watch that, so okay. In The Diplomat. Okay, I am seeing a lot of repeats for things. Kim says, do you have the Mitford book? So good, something and wholesome. I do not, but I am going to write those down too. Friday, I will come back to you guys on this, because I guess I could come back because it's been an hour. You got so our next Stitch and Chat is going to be Friday evening. I know these are kind of back to back, but I needed to make up my first week one. So we're going to have our week 2 start on Friday. And we'll chat about all the things, and I'll check back with you guys on some of these wonderful recommendations. I'm going to try to make a little list of them. Maybe I'll put it in the description of my next video. So in case anybody else is interested in some good recommendations, you can check that out. So thank you guys for the recommendations. Karen says she does that with audiobooks. Listens to some traumatizing things and then has to take a break. 100%. I'm like, okay, I just need to escape that for a little bit. I listened to, what podcast did I just listen to that was so crazy? Okay, I'm going to have to go look it up. My phone is not in here. But I will talk about that Friday. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I promise I'll get back better into the swing of this stitch along thing. I kind of forgot how I did this before. I hope you guys are enjoying your stitching or whatever you're working on. Thank you for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'll be back Friday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time. So come hang out if you're able. We'll just have some fun. You can pop in and out. You can catch the replay. All of my videos for this Sal, like any of my others, are in a specific playlist. So that means each of the Stitch With Me's will be in a playlist, and then the finishing tutorials will also be in that same playlist. So if you ever want to go back and reference them easily, hopefully that will be easy to find. Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly love sharing creativity with this amazing community of crafters. A special thank you goes out to my wonderful Patreon members. I appreciate you all so much. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, you'll find the link in the video description below. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do and enjoy exclusive content, behind the scenes updates, and extra perks. There's something for everyone, and we'd love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.